Podcasts and vodcasts can be extremely helpful instructional tools in all areas of learning, from tutoring students to project enhancement to ESOL modifications and more. Let's take a closer look at how these tools can be specifically useful in mathematical instruction. If you have a substitute in your classroom, wouldn't it be easier for the sub, you, and the students if you could explain all the concepts yourself? Many teachers feel that nothing is accomplished when they're away, and that a day sick is a day of learning lost. If you were to post your lessons from home as podcasts, the substitute could access them at school and play them back for the class. Substitutes aren't the only ones who can benefit from another's podcasts. Math teachers can too. The list on the right features some excellent math-oriented podcasts. Listen to them for yourself when looking for lesson ideas, or play them in class to change up the class lecture routine. Podcasts are unique instructional tools in that they can be archived for later use and review, which can help you teach without taking time out of class for individual instruction. For example, if students are having trouble with long division or partial quotients, you can make a podcast reviewing the divisibility rules. This way, you can instruct those students to review the divisibility podcast on a class computer. Tests can be stressful for all students, and a great way to help them prepare is by reviewing a unit's worth of material in class. However, for some students, that isn't enough. Let's say you're working through a unit on fractions, and one student needs more help on simplification, but you can't devote class time to review it. If you post a podcast of a more detailed review of each section, students can use the podcast to study the concept. Another advantage of posting podcasts is that many parents have forgotten mathematical concepts, like ordering rational numbers, discerning combinations and permutation, or even graphing linear equations. By podcasting a review of these concepts, you can instruct parents too. This can help them expand upon your instruction and ensure students' understanding at home. We've given you a few suggestions for using podcasts in your math instruction, so let's take a moment to review. Read the following question and select all the choices that apply. Click the Show Correct Answers button once you've made your selection to see how you did. Vodcasts, which are also sometimes called vidcasts, can also increase the effectiveness of your instruction. For instance, if you record video of yourself instructing a geometry class about how to graph trigonometric functions, you can post the video as a vodcast for the students to access if they need more help while doing the homework. You might also try posting daily homework, as well as explaining extra details and tips about assigned projects. For example, you could use this in conjunction with a wiki site. Leave the instructions for how to add new entries to your Math Wiki page as a podcast. You could also leave a podcast of which pages need to be added and what types of specific math examples will be needed for each. Podcasts can be a great way to make accommodations for ESOL students. You can pre-record word problems aloud and post them on a web page with the written problem. This way you can help ensure that you're assessing students' mathematical skills and not their reading ability. Math may not seem like it would benefit from podcasts, but as you've seen, there are some wonderful ways to include the technology. So get together with your leadership team and math department and incorporate podcasts into your own instruction. Here are some real-life examples of how the concepts discussed in this lesson could be used in a classroom, either as a teaching tool or an administrative aid.